Hello and welcome to We Got a podcast about Dragon Ball from A to Z, from Earth to Namek to Sadala. We cover it all. My name is Randy.
My name is Doug.
And I'm literally the only one who can sense Dende's ki, Ken.
There you go. Wow. That's great and impressive. We're the world's strongest under the heavens trio de dangers here every other week to talk your ear off about fights, goofs, and everything else in the Dragon Ball cosmos. Douglas, how you doing?
Randy, I'm glad you asked, buddy, because as a lot of you know, I'm collecting the SH Figure Arts line of Dragon Ball figures. I've got 3 left. Psych, I've only got 2 left now, because I found a deal for Beerus for about $80. Now, figure collectors know that Beerus goes for like 150 plus in the aftermarket. So for me finding him for 80, I'll take it. I'll take that win. So I'm very happy. I'm now just missing the original Whis and the original Zamasu SH Figure Arts, minus event exclusives that are going to be super hard to get. But as for the general line, just missing 2 now. So I'm so happy.
Dang, congrats, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. I got it off of Bai, and so I'll be seeing it in like 2 months because I always use the slowest shipping. Because the point of the game is to save as much money as I can, so that's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. What else you got here in this Zeitgeist?
Oh yeah, I wrote down in the thing Zeitgeist. You all know how I don't make sense sometimes with words, or my wordisms are animalorphic, whatever. I introduced my friends to the word Zeitgeist. They've apparently never heard of that before. I'm like, yeah, it's in the Zeitgeist. And they're like, what are you saying? And I'm like, I look at my other friend, like, you know what it is, right? No. I'm like, you know what it is, right? None of them knew what Zeitgeist meant. I'm like, I'm not crazy here. So I finally know words that my IRL friends don't. So I just thought you guys would be proud that Zeitgeist is in my Zeitgeist.
It's kind of a boomer word.
Maybe.
You don't really hear too many people use it anymore. So I'm not like bashing your friends for not knowing what it is, but
I thought it was a common word. I'm like, it's like about pulp culture. It's just what's going on in the world. And they even used the word on one of the Super Bowl commercials that aired during the game. And I was like, there it is. There's the word. I told you, not just me, but yeah.
That's true. Yeah, it's common-ish. Might be out of parlance for the younger.
Right. I mean, they definitely would have never heard of the Mindgeist. That's just it's a Dougism.
And they've definitely never heard of parlance.
That's true.
I don't think I have.
Well, we'll just we brought it up, and I don't know how to get out of here other than to say, Ken, what's new with you, my friend?
I've been kind of Randy moded these past few days, and by that I mean I've been getting into like emulation and stuff and testing things out. I finally hacked my PlayStation Classic. The only thing that was holding me back was I didn't have an old enough USB stick to use to go in through the front controller port to hack it, but I did. So that thing is fully wide open. I can put as many PlayStation games on there and go wild.
Nice.
My wife, first thing she wanted me to download was NASCAR 99. So
why'd you say allegedly?
Allegedly. In case the emulation police are
okay.
Right, yeah. And then again, allegedly, today I went and secured the Zelda Ocarina of Time 64 port that they did. I set that game to 60 frames per second. Even just at 60 frames, I felt like I was going to get motion sick because I'm so used to that game running on a potato that was not quite ready for that. But I'm going to mess around with it and then maybe look into the Super Mario 64 one as well. But Randy, what have you been up to?
Well, I just wanted to say I played through that Ocarina of Time PC port last year, and it's a dream, man. You're going to have a good time. I got to do Majora's Mask here one of these days because they came out with that one a few months ago. But what else have I been doing? Guys, I watched a little movie this past weekend, and when it came out, people didn't like it. And I want to say that if you've got the chance, go watch the Brady Bunch movie from 1995.
Whoa.
That movie's hilarious. Like,
it's self-aware, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's very much like poking fun at it, but also like in a lot of loving ways. And like, I don't know. I just think
people weren't ready for that back then. I don't think they understood that it was self-aware or meta. Meta wasn't
ahead of its time.
Yeah. Absolutely it was. And then I watched the sequel, which not as good as the first one.
Dude, a very Brady movie? Nice.
A very Brady sequel.
Now, Gary Cole, it plays the dad in that, right?
Correct, yeah.
He's great in everything he's ever been in.
Now, he's only shown up by Shelley Long playing Mrs. Brady.
Yeah, of course, Diane.
She's wonderful. She does a great job. Gives great face the whole movie. Anytime Gary Cole is talking, just like her reactions and like things along to it, super great. And of course, I can't remember the actress's name, but the woman who plays Jan. Oh God, she's like a live action Muppet in the parentheses
in the best way.
Complimentary.
Okay. You're like a Muppet.
It's so good. And then, of course, like I just got to bring up, we've been doing our Tenchi bonus series, and I'm just excited to watch more of that. I listened to our episode coming out last week for people that are listening, just to make everything super confusing.
Coming out tomorrow for us.
Right. It came out 7 days ago for you. So if you listen to it, congrats. I'm sure you had a great time. And if you haven't, we're only 6 episodes deep. You could jump into this and watch along with us and listen.
Really is a good time. It's night and day, I would say.
I was going to bring this up in my segment, but I saw you had Tenchi, so I waited. I got the old McFarlane's Toys Ryoko figure from the year 2000. I'd always wanted this as a kid, but it was probably going to be a hard sell with all the cleavage for my mom to come to terms with.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have a lot of money back then. But it's crazy. I sent this to Randy and Doug that this figure came out. It was just sitting on eBay for like $20.
That's so good right now.
What a difference of buying Tenchi versus Dragon Ball in the aftermarket. This is a 24-year-old figure.
Compared to an $8 Beerus that is just an outdated model with the wrong colors. That looks really good, even for 2000's sake.
The plastic is very old, and it's a McFarlane figure, and McFarlane figures, in my experience, have always been kind of trash and breakable. So I have already broken part of her figure, which was like she comes with her laser sword. You can kind of see it in there. And it broke at the end trying to get it in there. And then I did some more looking down in like the hole where her hand is. And there's just no way this would ever fit in there. Ever. In a million years. I would have to go with a drill and drill the larger hole. So she's not going to be holding the sword. And makes sense why I've never seen pictures of this toy holding the sword.
You should try. It's that small. You should try a hairdryer and see if like can get it kind of the plastic soft and everything. Nothing.
It's not within that wiggle room. Not going to happen. Man,
Ryoko not in the wiggle room. All right.
She comes with this hideous Ryoki as well. So.
Oh, you can paint those eyes to make it look a little less weird, but yeah. I was going to compliment the base though. The base is pretty cool too, though. She stands on.
Yeah.
It's got like and does it say Tenchi on there?
Yeah, it does. Tenchi Muyo, and then like the line that this is part of. She's got a metal peg in her foot to help, balance her on this. So, because she's kind of off balance of it. Yeah. But I mean, it's got McFarlane paint job on there. So again, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but there's like no Tenchi merch out there. So I'll take it.
From what I see, that looks good to me. Like, hey, $20 on a shelf. That looks great.
There's not to like inflate the price of this or the rarity. There's still a bunch on eBay for equally as cheap. So,
dude, should we all go in, Randy?
Let's all 3 get Ryoko figures. I'm not against this idea.
Showing off figures. I got this little dude here. Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let's talk about that sometime.
I do have a Ryoko animation cell somewhere in this house. I don't know where it is, but Look,
it should be framed on your wall.
Shock. Here's the thing. It's the full cell, but it's like she's in like the mid ground, and that's all it is. It's just like a small little. Okay. She's wearing that
piece of history,
blue,
buddy.
like and teal striped one, like the sweater with
the
like
tail.
the turtleneck. Yep.
Anyway, so what we're trying to get across to the listeners is you need to watch Tenchi, and you need to watch our Tenchi review. Because if you think that this is a good podcast, and I have to specify, if you think this is good, then the Tenchi one is every bit as good. If you don't think this is good, you've made it pretty far into this episode. So stick around, see if we change your mind.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, yeah. So we're here to actually talk about Dragon Ball instead of Tenchi this time.
Oh, man.
Hey, now, settle down.
The review hasn't started yet, Doug.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on. And we're here to talk Dragon Ball, specifically Dragon Ball Daima, and we're going to be doing it on episodes 16 and 17. This is the new show, started in October.
The best Jinjomikins.
Oh, yeah. What? Takes place after the whole Boo fiasco, and you know what? To catch us all up, I think that Ken should fill us in.
Last time on Dragon Ball Daima, bracing for the worst, Gomah enlists the aid of the military police force. Meanwhile, Neva reveals himself to be the creator of the shields between worlds and decides that it's time to reunite the demon realm after 5 million years, tens of thousands of years, a millennia? Either way, Goku and company make it to the first demon world and our warriors receive anything but a warm welcome. With the third eye back in play, what hope is left for the Daima Wonderland?
Ooh, excellent. And I liked your little poke at a thing that I'm sure we're going to be talking about for
I don't want
this
to.
first episode.
I don't want to talk about it, but we
want
will
to talk about it either. No. And we had talked about earlier, we were going to do, let's just set a timer. I don't want to talk about this forever. So when I said 20-minute timer, and Ken, you're like, yeah, let's do it. Is that 20 minutes for both episodes? Or do we have to do 20 minutes for each?
For each, come on.
For each? Okay. Well, we'll see if we can tease out enough of that, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, time is on the clock, guys. I got to start off first. Temperature check. How did we feel about episodes 16 and 17?
I actually really like these, like the resolution that this has, like the electric fighting and just the payoffs. And no, I'm just kidding. This episode sucked so bad. I hated rewatching this. I rewatched it because I watched it when it first came out, and then I'm like, let me see it again and see if anything actually did in fact happen. Barely anything happened in this episode. I don't want to talk about Dragon Ball Daima anymore. I'm so glad it's almost done.
So that was for both of them? That's how I felt for both? Because we're doing temperature check for the whole dang thing.
No, there was, in terms of plot, yes. In terms of how things looked and came out near the end of episode 17, that was great. That was nice to look at.
That's fair. That's good. Ken, how are you feeling? What's your temperature?
Boiling. There is stuff that I like about that happens in these episodes, but it is drowned out by stuff that I don't. Right. And yes, we do get this beautiful animation in episode 17, but by that point, I'm kind of just bored and like it's pretty to look at, but it's not telling me anything new. I'm not learning anything. There's no real advancement going on.
I wouldn't say that. I think the animation was so good that it actually did kind of bring me back a little bit.
Doug, you always make fun of me for watching these episodes
every time
in Japanese without subtitles.
Yeah.
And I would legitimately in the case of these, I think I liked them more when I didn't know what they were saying.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that. Totally. There's not much dialogue here that wasn't written by, could be written by us. Like there's nothing creative about the dialogue in these episodes.
Like when episode 17 started and like Arinsu is talking to Shin, and then when, what's his name? Neva is talking.
Oh.
I was like, okay, what are they? Are they messing up lore again? And they weren't. But not being able to know is nice.
Yeah, it's true. Not having to be able to pick it apart.
Yeah, certainly has its pros. Overall for these two, I'm having fun while I'm doing it, while I'm watching them. But I will admit, I feel disappointed in some things, and I'm sure that we'll get to it. So let's just dive right in. Episode 16, Degesu. With the Demon World army finished, Goku and company make their way through the castle here in the first Demon World. After a brief, silly, and awkwardly conveyed tiff with the Demon World Special Forces, our crew catches up to Degesu, who has kidnapped baby Dende for his own ambitious purposes. He is quickly taken down, and Dende is saved. The band of heroes make their way to the arena in order to take on Tamagami number 1 and secure their last Dragon Ball, but it appears to already be missing. All the while, Gomah struggles to pull the third eye from Hybus's belt, eventually able to free it and get it shoved into his head thanks to a pretty demon lady.
We get the full Bardock and Raditz intro. The whole thing.
What do you mean?
For the first time in a long time.
What do you mean?
Since episode 2 or episode 1, they show, so you know how they always have been starting some of these episodes with the here's who Goku is, and here we're going to show you Frieza, Cell, and Boo. This is the first time since I think episode 1 or 2 where they show the Bardock and Raditz parts of that. And every time this has happened, it's like, okay, are we doing this because we're not here for time? We have to address, Randy, turn the timer off. we have to address, there's kind of an elephant in the room right now because of when we're recording this. Yesterday, this big interview with Yoku came out. We're all here still personally waiting for the Kanzenshu translation, but we can kind of glean some things of what Herms did from it and what other people have said. Is that apparently, according to Iyoku, this idea to have this big recap at the beginning of every episode was Toriyama's idea. So why are we getting different variations of it? Sometimes it's not used at all. Sometimes we get the one with where they show the Scouter and the Dragon Ball stuff. Yeah.
I would assume that they made the full thing with the intent to have it at the beginning of each episode, but now that we're on Fuji TV, is it Fuji TV?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think.
And, they have a time slot when they're like, okay, we got to shave down some stuff to make sure that we fit into, this regular time slot. That's the first place you can go to start shaving stuff out. So just it was intended to be there all the time, but now we're just cutting stuff out depending on how much time we need to fill.
Yeah, because it's not in the next one at all.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. They had more action to get through.
So, listeners, if you're wanting to hear us talk more about that Ioku interview, we've already kind of talked about it, that we'll probably cover it when we finish the series, because there's a lot to pick out of that. But I just felt that was important to bring up for this,
for sure,
this moment. They show the tail end of the last episode, which is, I think, the first time they did that. They've ever done that. So not only are we showing the full recap thing, we're also showing 10 seconds from the previous episode before going to the title.
Probably because people might just start watching Daima here. They skip all the intro stuff and then just everyone's gonna say the last 4 episodes are great or for the plot. So just skip to there.
Skipping straight to baby situation. It was forget all this.
Those lost episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I posted out the skeet for this that was going to ask people for questions, the first thing I noticed when I was rewatching these episodes was there's this 2 shots where Vegeta is drawn noticeably taller than Goku. Yeah. And it's not like it's a mistake for this one shot, because then in the next one, they're standing next to each other and Goku is looking up at Vegeta.
I didn't notice until you posted that image, and it's so obvious and blatant how different they look. It's so funny.
Vegeta's hair is so almost taller than Piccolo.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't see a lot of Vegeta at age 6, so maybe he was taller than Goku at age 6.
And maybe Vegeta's an older kid than Goku, whatever his age is as a kid.
All turned to the same age, so he can't still be older.
It's not just kid? Okay.
I just think when we're at this point where we have to start headcanoning this is 2 shots. This is not important. Let's move on.
It's not really
important. Yeah. No.
Make this a 40-minute segment.
Why is Degesu going to pick up Dende?
This is so strange to me. So because we last saw him and he's like, I'm going to get that belt for you and I'm going to get that third eye. And then he goes and gets Dende instead, even though he clearly sent somebody out to go get this belt.
I didn't think about that.
Later on, he's like, I'm going to become Demon King. You got the belt. Have her give it to you, not to Gomah. This is so strange. I don't get this.
First of all, they're cowards for not making Degesu be the girl in the hat. And second of all, what's important to remember about Degesu going to get Dende is that he doesn't know that Goku and company are in the tower yet. He's just going up there to hold Dende. And he's up there for a while.
And then go and look out the window and see all of the commotion.
It's right before the end. It's right before the Eyecatch. Then he looks out the window. Then he sees, and then he heads to the ship. So him going up to see Dende had nothing to do with anything.
But didn't he know that they were here because they saw that on the video thing of oh, whoa, hold on, they're already here?
He didn't know that they'd gotten inside the castle, and he was still working out this eyeball plan that he was supposed to be facilitating.
Yeah. And he was even I'm surprised you guys got this far. Did he mean through the castle, or did he mean in general, from Earth to the demon realm? It's really weird. How are you not surprised that they got here already? There was nothing in their way. There was the fake Ginyu force, and then that was it. They just walked to you.
That's what he was counting on to stop them, I guess. But
what a waste of flippin' time as well. The stupid imitation Ginyu force that does nothing. They just spend half their time introducing themselves again to be like, "Can I get this joke? They're like the Ginyu force, haha," and then nothing. Even the joke doesn't land that well. Where I think one of them bumps the main guy's arm to mistakenly blast. I don't know. It's so dumb. It's so bad. I was thinking again, headcanon to fix this whole story. If these guys, we got a flashback to them as kids, are the main guy's a kid watching TV, and they get non-Demon World TV, and they see the Ginyu Force on TV, and I want to be like them and have friends when I grow up and be like a buddy, like a team, and then give them something like that. But no, they're just, I hate it.
They've got Demon Tube instead of God Tube, and turns out that the Ginyu Force were actually big demon tubers. So
that'd be great, right? That'd be funny. That'd be dumb and funny.
Doug, to bring to your point, wasting time, they're showing the whole Ginyu Force intro again.
Again,
And it's the same cells.
Same thing. I hate it.
The only thing I really dug was that Vegeta was going to be the one to go take him out. And I was like, well, he'll be 5 for 5 with the Ginyu Force. He's going to be 5 for 5 with these guys.
I guess. I won't even classify these as Ginyu Force.
I know that he hasn't not yet. But
how lame was like the heat-seeking blast? Like it looked weird. Like, oh, it's going to come back and hit Vegeta in the back. Like we're so over characters underestimating our heroes. We're in episode 18 of 20 or 16 of 20, whatever. It's not interesting. And even like Vegeta disappearing to get right in front of the guide and then vanish again to the blast hits him instead. Even that's just so uninspired.
It's poorly boarded.
Very poorly boarded, yeah. Probably too inspired is probably the wrong word I'm using. It's too inspired.
And the fact that, it's a very easy thing to take all 5 of them out. Like, we could have, if it was going to be, isn't it funny how easy it is to take them out? It shouldn't have lasted this long. And if it was going to last this long, we should have made it, like, at least interesting to watch him take them out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
If it was 19 minutes of them showing themselves off and then, like, Vegeta takes them all out within a second, that's the entire episode, I'd laugh at that. I'd give it a good chuckle. Like, that's a funny episode.
Well, Daima has had an urgency problem from the beginning when Kaioshin says, oh, I don't think they're going to harm Dende. And so there's no urgency to get in the castle. Vegeta's just going to take his time when, he should have just been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one chop to the neck and they're all out. Instead, we're wasting a minute and a half or however long with these guys.
Yeah.
Who I really like.
Can get a bag of chips.
I really like these guys. Like the whole part after they're tied up and they're all just joyfully talking to each other, and then Gaimoi gives the chips over to Goku. I like that.
That part,
There's so much to like
potential
in certain parts of the show.
Yeah. It's just a bummer how it kind of all unfolds. So they're out, they're tied up, whatever. They go into the castle. They're like, okay, we got to find Dende. We're walking around. Goku's eating chips. And then it's like, oh, let me just search out his key and let me just teleport there instantly. Like, no, you can't do that. That's wrong.
He's not searching out Dende's key. I don't know what he's doing. Piccolo asks, are we going the right way? And then Goku puts his fingers through his forehead. And then he's like, huh? I sense Dende's key. So what was he looking for? If not Dende's key?
And why can't... I might be mistaken, but I think this is what I like about this, is that every time we, as the audience, see this and the fingers go to Goku's forehead, we think he's using instantaneous movement, instant transmission. But this is just how he focuses, right? And like even in the main story proper. Is this, you don't have to do this finger thing to like do the move.
Right.
He's just doing this himself. Goku is to focus, like search out energy in general. Because we see him do instantaneous movement all the time in the series without doing that. Like in the midst of battle, he's doing it. But so I like that he's actually just, this is his way of like, let me search out a key. You know what I mean? And he just happened to come across Dende's.
But you can't. It's so odd to be like, I can just find this baby who's probably got imperceptible levels.
He's that close by. Maybe.
I don't.
I think he's just scanning for energy.
My main issue here is that Piccolo and Vegeta seemingly need Goku to do it. And they're just as capable.
Yeah, very true. They're should be as capable if this is a thing that makes sense, but I also think just on its face doesn't make sense.
Goku has way more experience in sensing out ki because he's like, he found Dende on New Namek by doing this thing. Like, or I think he had to go to Kaio's to do it, but still, like, he has, like, he can pinpoint in vast bajillion miles away, right?
Piccolo is literally Kami.
Yeah.
What is Kami? God? What does that mean in this Dragon Ball world anymore? Nothing. He even asked Kaioshin, what do you even do? He's like, I keep the peace. It's like, do you? Why did you even ask that question if you really don't?
Let's just cut right to them meeting up with Degesu. This dumb thing where, like I said, he's going to be, king of the demon realm. And he says, gosh, what was it? The thing of just like, oh, it's just what us people want to do. We want to seek out these, positions or whatever. Like, all right, I hate that.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me, but
I guess what he's trying to go for here is that, like, ascending to Kaioshin, or unless this is supposed to be some weird throwaway line that makes you think of Zamasu or something, But like everyone, all the Kaioshin are just appointed in those roles.
Right. And they aren't like, you'd think that then they would be looking for something higher, which is clearly they're not. They're like, well, I'm doing this and I'm kind of chilling doing that job.
Yeah.
It just seems very flimsy.
We have seen them before Boo attacked, and they're all just like sitting around waterfalls, chilling, doing nothing.
Yeah. He wants more out of life.
Well, then
that's fine for him, but the statement he's making is that all Glend are this way.
Oh, he's generalizing.
Which then carries over to their sister, which is the same thing, which I hate. It's just, tell me what your motivations are other than like, well, it's in my blood. Like, that's dumb. I want a character reason, but I guess I'm not getting that, am I?
Timeline time. Then we get this part here where Degesu says to Kaioshin, it's been centuries. No, over a millennia.
Yeah, quite a bit over.
What does that do for us, Ken?
So a millennia is, of course, 1,000 years. And when you say over a millennia, and you're probably not working all the way up to tens of thousands. Because remember, Neva, so let's forget about this thing called the Dragon Ball manga. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Let's set that aside, okay? Neva says he hasn't seen a Namekian in tens of thousands of years. Probably the highest probability here is that the Namekians left around the same time as the Glend did in that mass migration out. Mm-hmm. So let's assume that's tens of thousands of years. We're still a great magnitude further than a millennia. And even if there's a way to reason all of this out, you got to start explaining stuff. You got to start being like, oh, well, yeah, everyone did leave 5 million years ago. And then tens of thousands of years ago, there was this one random Namekian who came back and said hi to Neva. And then, Kaioshin took a sanctioned trip over the Demon Realm real quick to take care of some business, saw Degesu, went back. Just pump all that out for me. And I'll go,
damn, Daima, all right, girl.
We can scratch that off. We don't have to worry about it no more.
So what is the show just trying to say? Just another word for forever? It's been a long time. Like, that's all they wanted to do, but they chose a word that really meant more than that. Maybe they meant millennium, since the Backstreet Boys CD came out, the album called Millennium. And if Dragon Ball takes place in the distant future of our timeline, maybe that adds up.
Characters just have to say it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, do we know that it was translated correctly? Maybe he didn't say millennia?
It's correct.
Damn.
Yeah. I was going to say, would it be funnier? What's it been? 5, 10, 50 million years? You know, just like, oh, okay, whatever.
He takes out his Daizenshu book and is like, oh, it's been.
And again, listener, you have to understand, I don't know how to come at the show any other way than this. This is what I'm in Dragon Ball for.
Right, this is fun for you.
And no, well,
it used to be.
You love it. How did you guys feel about what's her face, Pansy, like taking a second and be like, I'm gonna go with them? Like, what was the point of her even going along with them up to see Degesu?
I don't know. It's like, I don't even remember this. Just like, yeah, okay, she's gonna go with, just so that way she can be the one to have a moment.
She can sneak attack. And then it actually failed sneak attack, but it just seems so...
It's fine because it's the kind of thing Pawn would do, right? And she's been very Pawn-coded from the very beginning, so I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about is a part where Goku, Piccolo, and Vegeta are like walking down a hallway. I swear to God, I wasn't even going to bring this up, Doug, until you started on this. Pansy's on a higher up thing, and then she sees them go, and then she continues running down the staircase, and it's like, you can fly. You could just leap over this.
Yeah.
Float down over there.
Yeah.
Minor thing. But it's annoying.
It's like the spaceship in Tenchi Muyo where all roads lead to the same destination, so just tying it back up. Watch our Tenchi Muyo podcast.
But to answer your question, I like that she goes after her because it's, hey, she's Pawn.
I don't like
it's a Pawn
how it happened. Why did they even separate? The guy where the guy's like, we got it from here, guys. You guys hang out here. Okay, bye. And then she's like, wait a second. And then because of that, what's his name? Glorio's like, wait a second. And then he also goes.
Well, because they just saw how powerful they are. And so that's why, like, King Kadan, I think, even says something where he's just like, oh, okay, well, Goku sure is impressive. And then so he steps back.
I guess I'm kind of glad that it ended up that Pansy's plan failed anyway, because it was dumb of just like, I'm gonna be sneaking and he won't see me and I'm gonna go attack, and it's like, he's like, no, I see you, and points a gun at her and it's like, no, I see you.
At which point I'm like, Why didn't someone take care of Degesu like right now? He's no longer pointing this gun at the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're pointing it at her. I thought that too, but they're pointing it at her now, so now she's the hostage.
We can all move at hypersonic speeds. Like, there's no reason to just not like, and I'm there, and then karate chop him.
It is kind of cool that Piccolo ends up being the one that like knocks him out after all said and done, going from the one who would never fight against Shin during the Tenkaichi Budokai.
Yeah.
And now he's like, boom, takes him out. It's nice.
True.
That's the kind of shit I'm looking for, Dragon Ball. Don't say millennia for no reason.
And I like Glorio throwing the hat. First of all, I like that it's silly and irreverent throwing a hat to this. That's good.
Yeah.
But we're on this path with Glorio, right? Where let's envision a world of Daima in which they handled Glorio correctly, and you want this to be like a cool moment of him bonding with the team. Then like crash zoom in on his face and he's like smirking, like a knowing, like I got you smile. And instead it's just him there standing dead face and Hybus comes out behind a corner. What is this show doing, man?
They don't get it, man. They don't get it.
20 seconds ago, our 20-minute timer went off. So let's just get through the rest of this.
All right.
So that takes care of Degesu. They haul him off. They're like, go to jail. It's a very nice shot of him.
It's off camera. I think they shoot him. They kill him right there. they have guns pointing at him. They're having him walk towards the end of a cliff. I'm gonna edit in a gunshot noise at the end of that clip, and just as Shin and them are looking in the distance, smiling at him, you just hear a boom. He's done.
I still, after all these episodes, have faith that when you don't see a character die, it means they're gonna come back.
Yep.
And so I think he's coming back in one way or another.
We got to have some sort of big twist.
Maybe.
We'll see.
He's going to have the third eye. He's going to take it from, what's his name, Gomah.
Right.
Did I miss, did I forget what the goo is? The Majin Buu goo that wraps them around? What is that?
Oh.
It's not the hat, right? Because they just did that with the fake Ginyu Force and had them tied up in that Majin Buu goo.
What they did is they went down to Earth, found those Dragon Clan people on Earth, and got Giron, and it took his bubblegum.
Oh, yeah, they
attack,
got Giron, yeah.
And they're like, all right, you're an honorary demon now. Check it out.
The same material as the hat. What's the guy's name that we kind of like?
Hybus.
Hybus, yeah.
It looks very much like the hat.
Yeah.
And I've gone from kind of liking Hybus to really liking Hybus.
Yeah, man, he's great.
No.
Well, that's okay. So what else is there after this? I think the best part of the episode, which is Gomah getting the belt and working together with this chick who's just randomly like, I want my prize. And it's like, yeah, whatever, go over to that room. There's a whole bunch of money or whatever. Take what you want. And then just struggling as much as it can to get that freaking eye out of that belt. Finally doing it with a plunger. And then making this girl who's just trying to get out of here, like, take this gross eyeball and stick it in my head. It's just...
This is great. This feels to me like this was a Toriyama thing. Like classic Toriyama subversion. The whole time you think it's going to be Degesu helping Gomah, and then it's just this totally random girl who's brought into this because, we don't know why Degesu approaches her, but she lost a hat that her ex gave her, and now she's involved with this crazy guy, and she has to be the one to put the ball in his head, or the eye in his head. I like that. That's fun.
It's true.
For me, it was the specifically the plunger joke. The him being frustrated, I can't get this eyeball out, goes to the bathroom, comes out, then has the idea, the plunger. Yeah. That feels like very Toriyama and like so funny and goofy and very appropriate. I like that. I don't like this girl character. Not because I don't like anything about her. I don't like how she's so introduced late into the story. And it's like, who are you? What contest did this person win to be this character in the last 3 episodes of this series that has a distinct like character model?
Doug, this is the perfect opportunity because you know what they're going to do. They did the superhero movie and then they had Toyotaro do a prequel manga. Toyotaro's coming back and he's going to do a prequel manga about this lady. We're going to get a whole volume leading up to how she gets to this hat from her ex. And it's a very fun romantic comedy sort of spin. And I
want to believe she just said, there's no X, or the X didn't give her the hat. She's just saying that to like make him feel bad so that she can get a bigger prize. But that's how I kind of read it. But it doesn't really matter. Like, who is this character? This feels so random. But
that's why she
gets the third eye at the end. I think she's the one that's gonna accidentally get it in for it. She'd be the bad guy.
I said last time that this show would do better if more random stuff just happened, and this is one of those types of things. I like that a lot.
Very true. Anyway, he's got it. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so he got it. He powers up, becomes Jiren. But we quickly skipped over Goku and company meeting our main characters for the first time, and after seeing
Our main characters.
Arinsu, Ku, and Du. Of course. Who did you think I meant?
Oh, that's what you mean.
I thought you were trying to say like main villains, and I'm like, okay, but like main character. Okay, this is
They
a
are
fun
the main
joke.
characters for us.
Yeah. Bulma's says like Majin, but in a way that's because she's recognizing Boo. But it's fine, but they've really stretched how far Majin, like the meaning of this word, and to which it doesn't really mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
I thought that was a mix-up where she says Maji in Japanese, which is like, oh, what? Like just like a
Like Majikayo.
Yeah, and it was just a Crunchyroll-ism of like, she says Majin. But I could have been wrong. I just thinking that I read at some point along the way.
Well, I read it as that's Majin Buu. And I'm like, she's never seen Kid Buu before. How would she know what Kid
She
Buu
did
looks
see adult Boo, though. She saw Super Boo before he killed everyone at the temple.
Okay.
And at that point, it's just a chibi version. So
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
And she would have seen Saibaman. Because, I mean, she didn't notice that, but she did see the footage of Yamcha dying. So
Yeah.
That would have been a long-ass time ago.
I don't know. It's traumatic.
It irks me when there's so many characters that would recognize Majin Buu and you pick the one that might not know what it looks like to mention it.
That's why we can just go with it was a Crunchyroll mess up, and she actually didn't. And
This whole series is a Crunchyroll mess up.
Well, speaking of, Doug, thank you. There's parts in this, borrowed words are a big thing in Japan. And sometimes you don't always translate those out as they're said in Japanese. But there are parts in this where after Pansy catches Dende and she lands, right? And she says safe,
Yes, yeah.
which is a baseball thing. And then they translate it to gotcha. Like, just leave that one. Leave that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it.
And then another issue here, which I need to fix these in my subs then, is when Gomah is running around clearly yelling, oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. And they translate it as, what should I do? What should I do? Just, we leave it. We get what's going on
Yeah,
here.
why?
All right. Anything else on episode 16? Okay.
No, I'm done.
Yeah,
Okay.
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Here we go again. Do you guys want me to give you a heads up of like, we're at 10 minutes
No, just
left or something?
even we could be in the most beautiful, profound thought, interrupt us until 20 minutes.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Time is on the clock, boys. Here we go. We went over last time, but we're going to try to stick with it this time. Episode 17, Gomah. Kaioshin and Arinsu exchange greetings before Goku must take on Majin Buu for control of the last Dragon Ball. Their battle is cut short as a superpowered, roided-out Gomah arrives to investigate all of the commotion. An all-out brawl ensues as everyone tries to take down this massive monster. Despite the combined efforts of Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Kaioshin, Pansy, Glorio, Ku, Du, and Tamagami No. 1, there is little they can do in the face of this foe. Goku finally pushes himself to his maximum power, Super Saiyan 3.
Yep.
We finally meet Ku, Du, Arinsu, and there's one thing from this whole thing, which is just Kaioshin talking with her and then doing the squinty, like,
The
smirk
smirk.
face.
Yeah.
I laughed out loud, and my husband Andrew was like, I don't understand this. And then we were watching the Anime AJ video later. He pointed, he was like, oh, that's why you laughed. I'm like, yeah, because I got what they were doing. That's all.
It's too iconic of a look.
Mm-hmm.
Ku and Du continue to be the strongest, most consistently well done thing in this show.
Absolutely.
To like a frustrating point.
Yeah.
Like the whole part where they're introducing themselves and Ku interrupts Arinsu to be like, I'm
Yeah,
Majin Ku.
He gets first billing. Why did you?
Yeah,
first?
and then Goku's like, so I guess you guys beat the Tamagami? And then Ku's like, my brother did. I lost. And Goku's like, why are you so proud of that?
I thought Goku would have appreciated the honesty and just like this like battle pride. That's like I wasn't strong enough. I feel like Goku would say something similar if he was in whatever.
I really
oh, wow. You lost? How strong was he? You know, just...
I think in terms of character writing, this is probably the strongest Goku has been in quite a while in this show.
Yeah.
Just the way he's kind of staring them down, talking very serious. This is Buark Goku, where we were with that character coming in. I really am a huge fan of Goku in this episode, just top to bottom.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just he knows this is kind of where everything's going to head and things could be dangerous with these guys. So Now we'll go back to, instead of like, oh, I'm a kid, I'm just going to roll with it and I'm going to have fun. This isn't going to be a big deal to like, oh, this might be a big deal. I think I'll take it serious like I normally would if I was an adult. Yeah. Maybe.
So back to the Glorio effect here is that Glorio now realizes Arinsu has been acting without his knowledge. He's been left out of the loop. And he's like, what's going on? And we get a little sweat drop on him, and it's like, whoa, finally some character coming from him.
Yeah.
All of this would hit a lot harder if we cared about this character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or knew what the plan was from his perspective. Because all we've known is like, oh, hey, I'm going out and I'm reporting back and like we're getting these things. Was she like, tell me how these things are going and then I'll get, you can come and you'll get the third one and then you can wish your family back to life. Like anything that would just be like, why is he going along with this? What is he getting out of it? And what is she keeping from him and why? But it was just like, oh, that's weird. Like, and more, please.
This better be huge. This better be a huge reveal. It's not going to be.
This show, you can see where they think they're going with Glorio. You can see what they think they're trying to pull off, but none of it is being executed well.
No.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's a shame.
Liking that.
So we finally get Arinsu's motivations. Sorry, Randy, I'm just jumping in here. We got only 20 minutes. I got to move. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom.
Let's do it.
She wants a stronger, more terrifying demon realm, one the outside world will bow down to.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does she care about the outside world? They've locked it down. You can't get out and you can't go in. Who cares? It's not like you're low on resources in this world.
Yeah, and why are they evil? Because it's called the demon realm. We've been across this quote unquote wonderland, and nothing about it feels demon or evil at all. It just feels like our universe number 2 with just different looking creatures. Not even that different, but it's just is Dr. Arnser even a bad guy? Come to think of it, like what is? I mean, besides that motivation of I want to become evil, what has she done that's been bad? Really,
nothing. all you. Well, okay, she did create the necklaces for those people, right?
Oh, right.
So all you have to do, here would be a good line for Arinsu explaining her motivations, would be to say like, hey, I'm a mad scientist. I love doing wacky science stuff. If I'm Great Demon King, no one can tell me I can't do this. Wow. I can just do whatever I want.
That'd be great.
Boom.
That'd be a character. That'd be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Or, even just anything of just like, I'm just pure evil, even though I have not shown that. It's the Spider-Man thing of like, but I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs.
You know what a good joke, like jokes have the setup and then the punchline. The joke from back then when someone was like talking to Vegeta like, oh, it's because you want Bulma back to being an adult because you like big boobs, right? That'd be funny. And then what if like in this episode when Vegeta finally meets Dr. Arinsu, he's like, yeah, let's listen to her. Let's go with her idea or whatever. Like the submissiveness of yes, with a woman with big boobs. That would be a great joke, but they didn't do any of that.
Yeah. Well, again, if something didn't happen in the moment, it's not canon to what's happening now.
Of course not. Yeah.
The music in this show, fellas, is a travesty.
Isn't it?
And we, in this part leading up to and during the Do fight that's going on, we get the 3 most reused pieces of music in this entire show, just in succession. And the one that they just recently put out on Spotify is a preview. Plays during this, that dun 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 dun. And honestly, to me, it's omen of victory all over again. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me.
Really?
I cannot stand it.
It's funny because I was looking yesterday. I was making a TikTok video and I was looking for like on YouTube, like what's the music for Dragon Ball Daima, and all it is just the opening and maybe sometimes the ending. There's no in between music, no nothing that's popular enough for anyone to have on their playlist.
Now, having said that, I will listen to the hell out of the soundtrack with all these unreleased tracks apparently that weren't used
unreleased
in the show.
Ones.
Yeah.
Like, from what I've heard, like some tracks, I dig them. It seems that we are not very carefully placing them or, keep mixing it up a bit.
Yeah. But, the early Dragon Ball Kai effect.
Yeah. I don't even remember what this track sounds like, to be quite honest. But
this is in no way Tyson's fault. But Tyson put out that great video talking about Yashima, was his name? Yashima's music history and how he's got little bits of Kikuchi in there and Sumitomo and everything. And then just when we actually got to the actual product, we got none of that. And
so unfortunate.
I was very excited Thanks to Tyson, in a good way. I
Yeah.
mean, it's truly. And then Dragon Ball, these Toei guys, do they know what they're doing?
I don't know. They make stuff green and say that was intentional. So
Right. Your color point is wrong.
yeah. No, this color space is right, even though it is the wrong one. Shut up. Yeah. So we can't trust that sort of stuff. We do that whole fight because they want that Dragon Ball, obviously. So it's, well, you're going to have a fight. And Do is going to be the one that's going to fight, obviously, because he's the strong one. We have the whole, oh, it's my turn to fight. No, it's my turn. I like that Bulma comes in on the side of like, Vegeta, be an adult. It's Goku's turn.
Yeah.
You know, what I really love about this is Piccolo being like, well, we have 2 Dragon Balls and you just have 1, so that's not like a good deal for us. And Ariasu's like, if you don't like it, I'll just destroy this ball.
Right.
Oh, damn.
It's like, jeez, okay.
She's not playing around. Okay, got it.
I do feel like this is a very natural, like, we kind of get lost sometimes in this world of Dragon Ball where, like, things have to be resolved with a fight. But this one kind of makes sense because to get the Dragon Ball, you had to fight the Tamagami. And so, like, okay, let's do all in on this one fight, and whoever wins gets all. So I do kind of like the natural form of how a fight takes place. Is I approve of that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I do also like how Ku was like also assuming he was gonna be the one to fight. He runs up with Goku and like Dr. Archer's like, "What are you doing? I'm gonna fight." It's like, no, you're not.
It's the other guy. Get him in here. But overall, I felt that the fight was pretty flat, and I wasn't excited, and the choreography not good. And I was excited
until he turned Super Saiyan.
Yeah. It's, in case you're wondering, it's at exactly 9 minutes and 13 seconds when the animation gets good.
I noticed, yeah, immediately as he turned Super Saiyan, it's like, okay, now they're like, let's give it our all.
Yeah. So just skip ahead to that point.
But before then, we get a Chala reference, and then that's it.
Yeah. Oh, right, with the running and the jumping from.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is familiar. I wish it wasn't drawn so poorly and lackluster, but yeah.
Same.
That's a reference.
I don't have anything else to say here, guys, until Gomah shows up. You? What else you got?
Nothing else happens. Gomah shows up.
Right.
And then there's no Eyecatch.
Yeah. We're just going to have the icon in the corner, and that's that. Which, I guess, we don't have a lot of the time for that. Just like we don't have the time to really hang on this, because we're at 10 minutes and 4 seconds, Ken, so make it quick.
I watch these shows in Japanese without subtitles, Doug.
Yeah, you watch it live.
So with there being a commercial in there, it was fine. But watching it all smashed together like that, there's like a weird pause because it just goes straight in. But yeah, we'll just...
Right.
Plenty of shows do that.
The previous episode where they kind of just fade to black after the Ginyu force is defeated. It was just a weird fade to black again, like whatever.
I hope this editor never touches Dragon Ball.
All right. So... roided out Gomah shows up. He's going to make an area for them to fight in, which, hey, there's that thing from that opening that we've been seeing every episode.
Neva speaks of the third eye without seemingly having had actual experience with it. And by this, his phrasing is, it said that. The third eye, blah, 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 blah. Just more timeline frustrations. Like, what happened when? I need to know. Mm-hmm. And that's all. Like, did Abra use the third eye his final time before Neva kind of was around? Like, I just need to. I got a chart here. I need to be able to fill out.
Yeah, I'm more mad that we never get an explanation how Hybis got the third eye. It's kind of like written off as a joke. Like,
yeah,
like how did you get it? We see him get it. The belt.
Yeah. Remember he's in the forest, the zombie forest. He grabs the eye, and then he's like, oh, this is cool. And then he just smashes it into his belt.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I love this part when Bulma recognizes the eye on Gomah, and she turns around at Hybis. She's like, what happened to your belt? And he goes, who cares about that? One eyeball is just like the next.
You see a sweat drop.
That was when I went to loving Hybis.
Yeah. Very quick on his feet to be like, shut, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah. Well, look at me.
And then in a moment that kind of emulates the Piccolo and the Buu arc, Gomah creates this ring specifically so his castle doesn't get messed up. And then Vegeta just flies in and they start fighting by the castle and the parts of the castle are starting to get destroyed. Yeah. Gomah's like, oh no.
He starts doing Vegeta's technique.
Like, that's good, technique. Man. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know that there's
like, you just built this thing. Why don't you go there now? Why are you fighting here?
What do you feel about Goku suggesting everyone fight as a group right off the bat?
I mean, that doesn't happen too often.
I like, we talked about it a little earlier. I don't like it, but I do appreciate that Bulma points it out. It's like, yes, this isn't something that Goku would normally do.
She does.
It is weird. It is weird that Goku just looks at Vegeta fighting him and decides he's too overwhelming for us to go one-on-one or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he usually goes test it out himself.
Yeah, what is his thinking there? Because, like you said, maybe he sees Vegeta fighting him, but like Vegeta's not going, Super Saiyan 3 or anything, where he's going full power, where he can accurately judge that. He's just seeing a big dude smack Vegeta around, and then he's like, "Oh, this is too serious, guys." Versus the usual, "Whoa, a strong guy! I can't wait to have my turn." And then, he's like, "Nope." Everybody's like,
no. The thing is just that, Neva's like, "Oh, it's a foe. It's just that overwhelming." It's like, why didn't they throw in like or maybe Bulma would have said, like, it's because they're a kid that their bodies aren't at full strength. This guy's too overwhelming because they're kids. But no, again, them being kids doesn't matter anymore. It's just to sell toys that I end up buying. It's all it is.
So I think the idea of Waku Goku, right? So let's pretend GT never happened. Let's pretend.
Sure.
And I mean, like, obviously not in this universe. So let's pretend it just never happened in the real world. No GT, no Super. So there is no Waku Goku of, oh boy, I can't wait to fight the enemy. That Goku is long gone by the time that we're in the Buu arc. So to me, in this moment, a more mature Goku, not knowing anything of how Goku has been mishandled in other series, I'm okay with it, and I'm especially okay with it because Bulma addresses it, and I feel like legitimizes it further.
That's true, because he didn't get to go all out against Cell, and that didn't seem to bother him. And then when Buu shows up, he's more like, I gotta train these kids to fight him. He's not like, oh, I can't wait to fight that guy. It's just, here's how we take care of things. So yeah, that's true. That it seems to be more true to his character's thought process at this point versus
his
other
development,
more modern media.
Right.
Okay.
I like
All
that.
Right. Listeners, put this in your checkmark column of me praising Dragon Ball Daima's writing legitimately.
Yeah.
Thank you. That better be a big ass checkmark.
It covers everything from before the lore.
Yeah.
So then we have this big all-out fight. I kind of, obviously the animation is really great. I like Tamagami number 1 being part of this. Yeah.
Why does it, every time I look at that scene where Neva suggests for Tamagami to go, it's like oddly sexual. He just looks at him and gives him a little wink like, hey, huh?
He doesn't just do that.
No words are exchanged.
Here's how Neva winks.
Yeah, with the shoulder, like
he moves his whole body in his wink.
Like he's like, hey, there's a dark alley back there if you want to meet me back there, right? Real quick, huh? And he says nothing and just winking at him. Tamagami's all confused, like, what? Me? And he keeps winking at him, and he keeps.
It seemed like such a bad, like, weird thing to do. That is a bad joke, and then it just keeps going.
It just keeps. I think that's the thing. It just keeps going, and it looks so sexual.
Well, I didn't get that out.
Maybe it's just me. I like Namekians.
It's fair. We've all got our type.
Everyone's using Ki Blast, clearly not working against Gomah, and then Glorio's like, check it out, I have gun. This will work.
That makes me mad too, is like, what is the point of them addressing in the demon world, like, this whole thing about magic and it being special if everyone just has the Ki Blast? Like, why? As they're doing this, the cool spinning shot of everyone charging up their blast, that's all of them doing a blast. There's no time before that where they could have introduced special cool magic that would have been unique to this series. Nope, it's just everyone has Ki Blast, and that's the magic. Or we just forgot the whole magic plot line entirely.
Well, yeah, they changed the name of the show, Doug.
Shut up.
Have Kaioshin making a big, Kachin rock to throw at him.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe,
okay,
yeah.
there we go.
Or something.
Glorio at least has lightning or something.
Kinda. It's a lightning that turns into a Ki Blast, but like it just made it very more apparent to me as they're all charging up to like fight Gomah. They're either punch or Ki Blast, and then like what a stark difference it is to see Majin do like with his bendy body. Like, oh my god, that's something new. It's not a regular punch or Ki Blast. I wish we had more of this kind of unique stuff in the series, but no.
I'll tell you, we're just kind of ragging on the build-up with Neva and Tamagami 1, But I think the slow buildup to Arinsu realizing she has to fight alongside these guys was pitch perfect.
I liked it. Yeah.
And that when Ku and Du get the go ahead and they're like, hell yeah, let's go.
Yes, they were
chills,
like, they couldn't wait. Like it's like they were like held back. She's like, go, and like her dogs are released. Like, let's go.
And like seeing them jump into the fight, fighting alongside these characters who are not the main characters, and then especially towards the end of the episode where Du and Tamagami 1 jump in to save Goku.
Yes,
like,
I love that.
I'm not gonna say I teared up, but just thinking about it, I could see myself, if I like really thought about it, I could make a tear.
You could
probably
squirt something out. Yeah, because these are the two strongest creatures in this demon realm. Like, and it's so cool that it's like it would have been a little more lackluster if it was the entire gang pushing back this thing, but it's these two like new character demon realm strongest characters that made it really cool.
Anytime you have a story that's all about adversaries coming together, I love that stuff, dude. Because we're such a fractured society that I'll take unification where I can.
Yeah, very true. But I love the fact that it's that I have to give Dragon Ball Daima this praise because we care this much because they gave us Du and Ku earlier. They had this like moment of developing these characters, and I just wish we had this more with like Gloria or other characters. But it made that moment so cool because we knew these characters and we loved them before.
You know, if it does turn out that Toriyama had like really deep involved connection with Daima, I would not be surprised to find out later on that all of that was focused at Ku and Du because they've just been handled amazingly the whole time.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that I really want to bring up. Do you guys think they're going to bring back the bag of bugs, or did we just lose that to be like, well, we're never going to see those again? Whatever. We'll figure something else out.
That might have been a red herring. But I don't think this show is intelligent enough to do a red herring.
So Goku loses Nyoibo and it falls to the ground, and then the end of the episode we get that shot where we see the Nyoibo in the ground, kind of being signifying to me that we didn't forget about this. I think we're not seeing that bag of Chekhov's guns ever again.
Yeah, because one episode of separation is enough to be like, oh, what is that? It doesn't exist in the canon anymore because we don't see it. So I think you're right.
Bag's T-posing.
Well, we went a long time not talking about the third eye, and we did bring that back after like episode 2.
Well, that was the main MacGuffin that they were after.
We didn't know that at the time because he brings up like, oh, I should have wished for that thing. Like, well, that probably would have been helpful, wouldn't it?
Well, it is in the intro.
Sure, fair. Another one that we have seemingly forgotten is that Du, who was able to defeat Tamagami number 1, thanks to some chocolate, he's got a new chocolate bar. So, like, when's he going to pop that out and do something against Gomah or whatever? So
Chekhov's chocolate.
Right, exactly. Anything else here? Because I just had my timer go off, boys.
Super Saiyan 3. The end.
It's there.
And what's interesting to note about the next episode preview for the next episode, which is what, Mezame or Awakening?
Awakening.
Is all we see in that next episode preview is one continuous scene. We don't see anything jumping around, so...
Yeah. It's just that.
Listener, you already know what happened.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Everyone knows.
Just the nature of how this whole thing works.
Let me pull out my other figure. I'm just kidding. I don't have
this thing happens.
Vegito, you have Vegito Mini?
Let me workshop some things real quick.
Does he actually wear different clothes?
All I have is this next to me. I can get this Beast Gohan out.
Oh, yeah.
Do something with it.
You know, he had Super Saiyan 3. We did the same shot of like, there's the hair, and then pan over to, him with, staring. Like, all right, cool. That was from his first intro. I like that. Sure. Why not? And it looks pretty. So that's cool. I'm excited to see what is awakened.
I feel the tone of our conversation as we went on got a lot more positive.
I would agree.
And you know what? It's because there were no more lore drops.
Yeah, they locked in and just did really good animation of fighting.
Yeah, once we got past the over a millennia, things got better.
Yeah,
again though, like something that we appreciated earlier with another Tamagami fight is that the fight felt more unique because Goku was a kid. These fights, they could be adults and the fight would happening the same exact way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Anything else about 17, fellas?
No, this is going to be a rare thing to say. I'm really looking forward to covering 18 and 19.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back with what you guys had to say about these two episodes. 2 pairs of episodes. That's not right. These 2 episodes. So we'll be right back. All right, we are back here with more We Got a Podcast, but we're going to do what you guys had to say about this stuff. And Ken, who always mans our blue sky, put out the call for questions. Call for questions? I don't know how to talk, you guys. So
Call for answers.
Yes. So Ken asks, who's been your favorite character of the show and why? And who needs a little more cooking in the oven? And first one up here we've got from Parker Rico, who says, my favorites are definitely Arinsu, Hybis, Ku, and Du. The worst one is Glorio. He's just nothing, and it's a shame they didn't do much with him. Maybe they'll do something for the finale with him. I hope. You know what? Same here.
Yeah,
It'd be nice.
I'm still wondering if they can pull something out of their butt that can make him redeeming to us. Like, there's got to be something in some universe that can make us love Gloria all of a sudden.
I lost all hope when we had Jiren, who was the most boring thing ever, and then we had an episode of like, here's his backstory. It's like, well, that sucked. Good job.
True.
I don't think he'll be great in the rest of the show, but I am looking forward to the Kakarot DLC because I have a lot of faith in that team of writers and that game. So maybe they can pull something off with him. Even it's just like the slightest line could be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe he and Malone have been the best friends for decades. And
Oh, yeah.
Post Malone?
Oh, Malone
Suika.
Suika will definitely show up in this DLC, and it will be amazing. He'll be like, I'm cooking dishes in the third demon world. I need to find this item, and this item. And you go and find the items. You come back and have a nice little story.
Yeah.
Emily, at Midnight Queen, writes in and says, favorite character, probably Arinsu, with Hybis as a close second. Glorio is still raw. He's not even in the same room as a preheated oven.
Got him.
Whoa. That's good. I love
Not even
that.
the
Good
same
job.
room as a preheated oven. That's great.
Good job, Emily. Yeah. What is, as a person who is not a boob man, what's the appeal of Arinsu?
It's just the sultry way she talks.
Yeah.
That's fair. And she does spit.
She doesn't do she's not like the angry version of like that kind of character where she's like always over the top, like with her hair messed up, like what is going on or whatever. No, it's very like calm, sophisticated, and
That's fair. That's true.
Dami mommy is the term you're looking for.
I guess
Gotcha. So GGF, full name TBD, says, favorite would be Hybis, Ku, or Gomah. Guess I like the more comedic characters. I don't hate Glorio like you guys do, but he's definitely the weakest link. It's odd how flat he, and Pansy to a lesser extent, are when there are the ones all over the marketing. Yeah.
so. Yeah. Now that Piccolo and Vegeta are here, it's like they took a huge backseat.
We just need
Yeah.
someone for Pansy to abuse, and then she would truly just be pawn. And I don't think that's flat. Yeah.
She should have been abusing Glorio. What happened to Goku messing up Glorio's name? That joke just kind of went away.
Yeah.
It should have went away after they redeemed them, like after Glorio had a good character redemption or whatever.
No, check it out. So Goku's going to be losing against Gomah, and he's boom, boom, boom. And then Glorio will step in and be like, Goku, I actually have this technique that can win.
Whoa.
And this is as much emotion as I can show you in my voice. And then Goku will go, Goliro, thank you. And then Glorio will say my name. And then Goku will
You
go,
know my name.
Glorio. And then he goes, you're goddamn right.
But yeah, man, Hybis and Ku are
love
great.
that.
Gomah, fantastic. I just wish we got more of him in this entire series because we went long stretches of episodes with nothing. And, it's like, give me more goofiness. That'd have been great. But it is as it is.
Alas, yeah. Gabby writes in, Mozilla Vulpix says, Ku, probably, although they probably dragged his introduction a bit too long to the point it gave us the wrong impression of him. I like that he's just average at fighting, but is pretty self-aware.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I
I
see
like that. Just, being like, yeah, I'm not the greatest, but I make up for it in other ways. Like able to run
he was
to
smart.
the grocery store fast.
Yeah, he solved the riddle.
He's written like Joey from Friends, and that's perfect.
Oh, wow.
Explain. What do you mean? Here we
Just
go.
like dumb, lovable, kind of self-aware later on, and
I seen him say, "How you doing?" and then you're all set.
Yeah. That's good. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for filling us in with your thoughts and things like that. We always really appreciate it. And if you want to fill us in with more of your thoughts, and I'm going to stop saying fill us in because that's a weird phrase.
Calm down, Randy. Jeez.
We all know what I'm thinking about.
Been filled in.
Okay. You can, hit us up in Spotify. We've got a whole comment section there. You can let us know things there. There's polls, which are really, really fun. We have one for each episode. And I'd pull it up right now, but I don't have it. And it is what it is. So we also have email, which is really great. I'm actually going to pull up this one hot and fresh. Haven't looked at it yet. 5 days ago from Willis DeYoung that says, Team Glorio, Ken response. So strap in for this. First, I want to be fair. Okay.
Real talk. This email, prepping for this email coming in is what prompted the way I wrote this week's listener action. So
what?
Interesting. I did not know you had access to this email inbox, Ken.
I knew. Well, I knew. I don't. I just trusted that Willis would write in. Willis,
you scared.
I got you,
Randy,
and you got me.
Second.
All right. He says, first, I want to be fair and say I've only seen these episodes once, but I do plan on watching them all again once everything is done. Second, as of this email, there are only 16 episodes available. The first thing Ken should appreciate about Glorio is that he doesn't break the timeline that I'm aware of. Glorio, being our tour guide, doesn't really get in the way of the story. The ship's breaking down all the time really isn't his fault. It's just bad luck. He doesn't waste our time with exposition or lore dumps. He doesn't waste our time trying to show off how strong he is or isn't. And last of all, wiki editor Ken should be happy that his wiki page will be short and sweet and not a lot of work. I do think Ken should add all of the names Goku has called Glorio over the course of the series to the wiki page. In all honesty, Ken, I wasn't a Team Glorio fan until you started dumping on the poor guy week after week. You created Team Glorio.
Oh, wow.
Ken,
That's
I'm
hilarious.
Ken, I'm a native Texan as well, outside the San Antonio area. If you ever want to link up for pizza and beer, I'm buying, and we can talk about Dragon Ball. Randy and Doug, that invite is extended to you as well. Thanks as always, Willis. P.S. Doug, I'll come up with more bogus figure trivia for you next time.
Hell yeah. Bogus. Hell yeah.
Oh, sorry. Bonus. I can't read.
Bogus.
Willis, thank you for writing in with that email. You bring up some really good points about him not interfering with Dragon Ball.
For better or worse.
For better or worse, yeah. He is just kind of there.
He's just doing his thing, man. Why are we ragging on him so badly? If he's the us of the universe, like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Dr. Arnter gave me orders. She has a nice rag, so I said, yeah, why not, I guess.
It's trivia, dudes, and
no.
Okay, so he's got 3 questions here, guys. Strap in. Let's see how smart you are. Listener, watcher, let us know how you did. Let us know if you've got all these questions right or wrong.
Smarter than a 5th grader.
If you got them all wrong, I want you to show up in the comments and be like, I listened to this episode all the way through trivia, and I didn't get a single one right.
Yeah, be like Koo, be honest, and be like, yeah, no, he beat me.
Mm-hmm. Question number 1. What is the name of the military ranger that kept munching on chips?
Yeah, Guy Moy.
Boom! Ken gets it. I'm assuming Doug has no answer to this.
Nah, I maybe one of their names is Mushu. I don't know, from Mulan.
Question 2. What is Guy Moy's number in the military rangers?
5.
Number?
Doug, you want to give a guess?
No, I'm not even gonna 6.
Well, there's only 5 of them.
I know, I just want Ken to win. That's why I'm guessing 6.
Ken's got it right. That is number 5. And third, how is the girl that traded her hat for Hybis's third eye credited?
Credited?
Yeah, it's beautiful woman in a strange hat.
Yeah, beauty with a strange hat. So,
this show. Excuse my
3
language.
for 3.
Stupid show. Stupid.
It's okay, Doug. One of these days, we'll get out of Daima and we can talk about figures, and you'll be right.
Oh my God, I'll be in bliss. Oh my God. And our subscriber count will skyrocket to the moon.
Straight up there. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. We love keeping you in the conversation, talking about our favorite franchise in the world that isn't Tenchi. And you can, of course, let us know about things on our Blue Sky. We keep it easy at wegottapodcast.com over there. And, of course, you can email us at wegottapod@gmail.com.
I miss Tenchi. Thank you to Rifti Beach for letting us use this Kakarot theme hip hop trap remix. You can find that track and other great music by Rifti on his SoundCloud. Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me at Detective X on bsky.social, where I have been posting more Oobtober pages. We are in the fight between Gotenks and Keezer, who is a disciple of Mr. Satan's and not making Mr. Satan look so good. Randy, what about you?
Well, you can find me at Saberbreaker at WeGotAPodcast.com over there on Blue Sky. So go there. I'll post something at some point. Probably.
Yeah, I'm lurking on Jabaz Doug on the Blue Skeets or whatever as well. So you can find me there, Jabaz Doug.
Heck yeah.
Everyone, thank you for listening, and thank you for always writing in when we do these kinds of things. Your input is truly one of the parts of the show that I look the most forward to. So
it's keeping me sane.
Right. Yeah. So, as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for reviewing, for subscribing, for telling your friends, telling your moms, and all that fun stuff. Don't forget to check out our Tenchi episodes, where we are, next week we'll be recording episode 7, covering OVA 1, episode 7, and we're going to be joined by Myster Fusion for that, who you might remember from our GT checkpoint that we did forever ago with another Dragon Ball series.
Yeah.
Which has apparently influenced this one. So, all that to say, guys, we will catch you, Matinator.
Bye.
Bye.